Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Bleeding Crypto's Market Update. Today is a quick video. I've been getting a ton of DMs regarding my post I did a week ago about us going down to 886, which is in that $12,000 area, how serious I was about it, and I'm pretty dead serious about it. I've done many videos and many posts in the past talking about 886 and the historical data that we have for that number and for that area to come back down. And I want to make a quick video. One of the things that I like to look for is confluence, guys. Confluence is something that's very important. It helps us to confirm as much as possible in this business where our targets lie, if they're reasonable, unreasonable. Is there more than one data point that can confirm that or that can result into an area where we think something is going to go? So besides looking back and seeing that level hit many times before, not only in Bitcoin, but in other assets, let's see what other confluence we can find to that 886 call. The first thing I want to do is put the fib on here from the top of the market. So the top of the market back, I don't know why what's going on? Oh, here we go. Let me do this. Let me hide the indicators for now. We won't bother with the EMAs. And let's go here to the bottom of the market. And this is where my 886 post that I made is right here. This is, again, historical data tells us that 886 is a level that we usually like to retrace to. Besides that, let's do this. Let's chalk a line of support. Do we find, if we go across to the left, is that an area of strong support and resistance? So here we got support, resistance, 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 resistance. And we all know strong prior resistance is what we look for on the way down for new support. The resistance of last moves, of past history, really helps us to identify strong areas of support. And as a matter of fact, look, to prove my point, here's where we're at now. Look at this. I didn't even notice this before, but here's one right here. Look at this. Resistance, resistance, support. Look at where we're at now. By the way, guys, this is the monthly chart. So 3 months in a row, we have found support at this level here, which was prior support, which was prior resistance, and prior resistance. So that is another data point that we have, again, to find confluence in areas of prior resistance. Now, let's look at something else besides 886 being an area where I typically look at for a bottoming or a reload zone. We have the prior resistance. Now, another thing that I like to use is harmonic patterns. Harmonic patterns are a very effective tool to use, as everything works in patterns in crypto and in assets, and not only in crypto but in the universe itself. If you guys ever look into or Google the Fibonacci sequence, you will notice just an incredible amount of information regarding patterns. Harmonic patterns, to me, is one of them. And when I draw a harmonic pattern from the very top here to the low, before we put in this lower high, look what happens here, guys. Clone it. So basically, this is very similar to an AB equals CD. So now we go to the top of this here. So basically, we took the high to the low. Then when it formed that lower high, that's our new AB equals CD, meaning that the distance between A and B, we're looking for that now on C and D. And look where it lands, guys. Very close. None of these things are going to hit to the penny, guys, but that's a lot of confluence. We've got 886 as historical move to the downside. We've got prior support, confluence number 2, and we've got a perfect harmonic pattern ending in that same area. That's confluence number 3. I mean, come on, guys. That, to me, is sufficient enough to feel confident that those levers are going to hit. Now, here's the thing. This is the funny part. The people who don't believe in this will tell you that it won't, that's not going to happen. The bottom is in. and it may be in, but I'm going to stick to historical data over hopium or what the CT Twitter guys want you to hear because of clickbait. When we get here, and I'm fairly confident we are, you're going to hear a lot of this. You're going to hear a lot of, well, we only got there because this happened. And here's the thing, guys. Every year, when we go down to 886, they say the same thing. Oh, well, nobody could have predicted Black Swan. Yeah, nobody could have predicted Black Swan, but guess what? Nevertheless, we went down to 886. When we were at 19,000, nobody ever thought we can go back down to 32,000. Oh, it only happened because CME futures came in and they shorted it all the way down. Okay, well, that's a reason. Regardless of the reason doesn't matter. Somebody is going to find a reason to attach to the fact that we made it here. They're going to be in denial until it happens, and then they're going to throw in well, you couldn't have known because how can you have predicted X factor? X factor is irrelevant. The fact that we're going to get here, because this is a level what institutions like to load up, is a much stronger reason than any other article or reason that we're going to find when we get here for acceptance. Because those guys are going to look really bad when they're telling you the bottom is in, and yet historical data tells us, not yet, guys. Slow down. Before a bottom comes in, you know what needs to happen, guys? A really nice, long, drawn consolidation, a frustration. The market is here to wear you down, and it usually likes to wear you down towards the bottom. When we hit here, look at this bottom here. See this bottom? If you look at prior bull runs that we've had, same exact thing. We've had a level of bottom once that level hits. First we're going to get some sideways action, and typically we're going to get a 50% capitulation, and then we're going to sit there at the bottom. When everybody starts saying Bitcoin is dead, it's a scam, Bitcoin's not going up anymore, that's a good bottom signal. We're not there yet, guys. We're close, but we're not there yet, in my opinion. And here, all the information I share with you is the reasoning behind my call of 886. It's worked out more often than not, so I got to stick to my rule set. It might not happen, but until that time happens, I don't have any data that tells me that all of this confluence doesn't work or that I have to ignore it. I've got to stick to the rule set because this is a rule set that I use to trade, and it's made me made me a good living, so I cannot ignore it. I've got to stick to it until I'm proven otherwise. All right, guys, I hope this was clear enough. And I explained myself thoroughly enough so you guys can understand what it is. Nothing is guaranteed. Bottom may be very well in at 786. I'm not saying it's not, but for me, this is what I'm looking at. And now you know the reason why. And keep this in mind, guys. Because I'm looking for 886 doesn't mean that's the bottom. I'm just telling you that this is where I like to see the retrace go to. It could very well go lower than this. So please keep that in mind. I am not saying that 886 is the bottom. All I am saying is I want to see this get respected the way it has in the past, the way it has on other assets, and I will feel more comfortable entering into here. When I buy here and it drops, let's just say, for instance, it happens to drop another 30-40%, you know what I do, guys? I buy more because this is a level that I do not use a stop loss. I would never use a stop loss at the bottom. For me, for my accumulation bag, there is no reason to. What I'd rather do is buy if this doesn't hold and we go lower, then it'll help me to just dollar cost average down and get a better entry than 11,382. That's all it means to me. But if you feel comfortable putting a stop loss at the bottom, please do you. I'm just telling you the reason I won't do it. Everyone have a really good day.